Paul, we're here in the West Midlands at A&M EDM. What is it you do?
We do a variety of things. Originally, the business started as an EDM company, which was wire and spark erosion. But over the years, we've sort of like diversified, where we now do CNC machining, 3, 4, 5 axis, CNC turning, grinding, pretty much everything.
So in terms of the designing and the manufacturing, how does that work here?
Yeah, it's like a sister company. The company is a SCASO. They basically designed all the engine, and A&M have done the manufacturing side of it.
And every time I come to this business, you're doing something, you're pushing the boundaries, you're doing something quite different, and today is no different. Talk to us about this component in the machine.
Yeah, this is a 5-bearing engine. Obviously, you have to line bore the 5 bearings in line, so it all has to be done in one go.
Sure, and this is something you've developed in-house?
Pretty much, yeah.
And what are the challenges of a boring head like this? Obviously, we're cutting two materials, the similar materials.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges you have to overcome?
Well, that is the challenge, the two different materials. Obviously, having steel and aluminium, they've both got different cutting speeds. So you're cutting one to the other intermittently. It's a case of getting the tooling and the speeds and feeds right so you get a finish.
And this is BIG KAISER boring head, supplied by ITC of Tamworth. You know, how do you find your relationship? I know they've got various tools on here, so maybe you can tell us some more.
Yeah, very good. We use them quite a bit because, number one, they're local. Number two, they keep a lot of stock on the shelf. If you need things, you generally get it the next day. Just on this project alone, obviously all the boring system is from ITC. We've used end mills, drills, thread rolls, and I've supplied the majority of it.
And in terms of this, if I was machining this, I'd want some backup, I'd want some application support. How does that work with ITC?
Yeah, pretty good. They're always on the end of the phone if you need them. They'll always pop in, being local. They're only in Tamworth, which is like 12 miles away.
Simon, I've just spoke to Paul and he's very impressed with the boring system, but how did you get involved in this project?
Well, A&M EDM are big users of, long-time users of BIG KAISER boring equipment. So when they come up, they wanted to use their existing boring head, and they emailed me, we've got this particular bore, this application. I made the drawing, come up with the application as we can see here, which involves lots of extensions. So it was, in this instance, quite a nice repeat business kind of thing from years ago.
Sure, and how secure is the process? Obviously there's a number of extensions on there.
Yeah, this is a properly tricky bore to do because we're cutting two materials, obviously a long length with lots of extensions, so it really is not the normal. So it's a secure process. The extensions connect very well and very securely, but with this type of length of boring bar, we can't run so fast.
Yeah, and obviously the nature of what the component's doing, it's going to be close tolerance also.
Yeah, it's a very close tolerance. I'm not exactly the tolerance myself, what the end tolerance is. We're keeping it a little bit secret. But yeah, it's a close tolerance, need a good finish, and hence that's why we're using the BIG KAISER equipment.
Yeah, and what is the boring head here?
This boring head is what we call a peripheral boring head. So it's we can use on the outside, so the actual boring head goes in the hole as well. And this boring head is capable of machining from a 41 diameter up to 74 by using different size cartridges, which we bolt to the side.
In terms of the adjustment on here, if we're out by 10 microns, you know, how do we get around that?
Yeah, well, on this particular design of boring head, well, it's the same as all the designs of BIG KAISER. We've got a nice large dial. Obviously, we unlock the boring bar and we can turn the dial around, which adjusts the boring head. Between, say, 2 and 3 on here will be 0.1. Then the smaller divisions are 10 microns, and then we use the vernier scale to reduce the resolution even further down to a micron.
The biggest challenge to overcome is the fact that it's the similar material. So we're looking at some sort of aluminium and steel. So what grade do you go for? Because clearly, traditionally, that's two different inserts.
Yes, it is. We've gone for a general grade, really. It's capable of machining both. In this particular instance, we're more or less just scraping the steel. So we're cutting the aluminium, so we're doing half a hole into a very, very light cut into the steel. So it's very tricky. We've just gone for a general grade with a sharp corner radius. It's the corner radius on such a long boring bar is the secret.
There's two elements here, isn't there, Simon? We're looking at the front end, the boring head, and the back end, the tool holder itself. So how does that work? Are they both Big Kaiser?
Yeah, this whole assembly you can see in the machine is Big Kaiser. What's nice about this Herco machine is it's a new machine with a Big Plus spindle. So we're using a Big Plus back end with all the extensions and the boring head on the doing the cutting, doing the action. But what's nice is because it's Big Plus, we've got the better connection, repeatability back into the spindle is enhanced. So when they take that boring bar and put it back in, we're back exactly where we were. So it's a very nice solution.
So when you say Big Plus, what does that mean? You're talking face and taper, but the Big Plus branding is on Big Kaiser?
Yes, yes. So it's a face and taper location. Big Plus come up with this design years ago, and it's still current now with machine tool people. And as you can see, Herco are now supplying their machines with Big Plus tapers.
And ITC, there's many cutting tool manufacturers out there, but you're pretty good at this application stuff.
I believe we've got a strong team with ITC now. We've got dedicated application guys up and down the country who can help out customers as and when.
So if somebody's watching this video, and there will be, and they've got issues, boring, doing boring head type applications, how do they learn more about Big Kaiser and ITC?
Yeah, we can always pop onto the Big Kaiser website and also the ITC website. Best to do is to contact us, and then we can send us the details of your application and we'll come up with a solution for the boring side. We do that, we can supply speed feeds, actual assembly drawings, and do a full package with a quote. So that's no problem at all. We can also trial on premises. So we can actually do payment after positive results kind of a situation if a customer wants to see it in action.